Dakota Odgers from Covers & Co. Just talking about some of the nitrogen reduction strategies that we're working on our farm. The big one that we're working on is the introduction of multi-species cover crops. They've pretty much all but replaced our monocrop green feed or silage. So we're going in with multi-species cover crops. We are applying some synthetic fertilizer in our case, between 30 to 40 pounds of actual N and 10 to 20 pounds of actual phos. But what we're seeing is a resilient system that's much less dependent on synthetic fertilizers, as well as we're looking at a year like last year, going in and strictly grazing cover crops. We're going to be looking at following that up with a cash crop at a reduced usage of synthetic fertilizers in the follow-up year. So as we're looking to implement more of these multi-species across our farms, we're trying to work in rotation, being a mixed grain and cattle farm, at reducing fertilizer not only in the year of implementation, but also the following year when we're looking to follow those up with a commodity.
Hey, it's Chance from Covers & Co. It looks like we're going to be into some crazy territory here as far as nitrogen prices this spring. I just wanted to share a couple of things that we're doing in our operation. So one of the big things has been multi-species cover crops and having them integrated into our regular rotation. So it's allowed us to cut back on our nitrogen inputs for the following crop. And then livestock integration onto the land. We're trying to have the livestock involved on as much of our land as possible, and maybe even importing some nutrients out to that piece of land and cycling it through the cow and making it more plant available for us.
How we knock back our synthetic use of fertilizer is keeping the cows on the land. We like to bale graze on all of our perennial stands that we will cut and bale for our winter forage. Key here is just keeping animals on the land using that natural fertilizer for the upcoming season.
Hey guys, it's Tanner from Covers & Co. Just enjoying a nice spring day in northern Alberta. Here's a few ways on our ranch that we try to help mitigate our fertilizer costs and just cut back on our added fertility costs. So we try to do swath grazing in the fall with animal integration, so our cows will go out till as far as we can in the winter and just have them out on the land, putting nutrients back in the soil to make a nutrient-rich soil. We also like to do intercropping with legumes such as peas, for example, and anything with nitrogen fixation in mind. They will use rhizobium to make nodulate and make nitrogen for the soil for next year. So yeah, those are just a few ways we do it around here.
Hey guys, Keegan with Covers & Co. here. So with fertilizer prices at record highs this year and availability being even questionable in some areas, reducing our fertilizer impact or requirements is really, really important to us. So one of the things we've done for a few years is trying to keep the animals on the land grazing as long as we can. So you can see behind me, we've got some bale grazing going on. These cows were here this summer, they were grazing. This is pasture. They stayed here all winter in bale grazing, and then they're going to be calving here, so they're never coming home. All the manure from the whole year is staying on this land. Really high impact, hoping to get some fertility aspect that way. But the other thing we're doing this year is also in our seeded acres, everything that's getting planted this year is going to have a biological component added to it as well. So we're using a hog manure compost extract that we're getting. It's going to go in furrow as well as be applied foliar. Seeing some really good results from other producers, just increasing that biological activity and letting the microbes and the bugs in the soil do what they're supposed to do, make unavailable plant nutrients plant available, and reduce our overall costs on the farm.